Namskaram, my name is Isha and this series is on matrices. So, primarily, we will talk about what is a matrix and then its order and elements. So, first, what is a matrix? In plural, we say matrices. It is a rectangular array of numbers, symbols, or expressions arranged in rows and columns. Array means by a large collection or a group. Therefore, rectangular array means a rectangular collection of numbers, symbols, or expression. This definition can also be described as when the numbers, symbols, or expressions arranged in rows and columns so as to make a rectangular collection, they make a matrix. You all would have made grocery list once in your life or ever seen your teacher marking your attendance in attendance register like this and this. Oh yes, we all use row and column pattern in our daily life. So look at the row. When the elements are arranged horizontally, they make a row. Horizontally like this. And when the elements are arranged vertically, they make a column. Vertically means like this. So, beginners always get confused that which one of them is represented horizontally or vertically. So, let's see a mnemonic for them. Mnemonics are RH and CV. Both are the acronyms. You must have heard RH, restricted holiday, right provided to government employees, and CV as curriculum vitae. So I think it would be easier to remember row as horizontally, column as vertically, where R stands for rows and S stands for horizontally. C stands for column, V stands for vertically. RH, CV. Now let us understand matrix by some illustrations. Taking two collection of numbers or arrays, I have already made it introduced to you. Array means a large collection. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice both arrays or collections have same number of elements 4 and 4. What if we arrange one of them as a row and as a column? We can simply construct a matrix by putting a brace at the starting and at the end of that particular row. Similarly, at the starting and at the end of the column. Yes, this is a matrix. See, matrix has its specific identification by braces or parentheses. We can also use parentheses at the place of braces. Now, let's talk about the notation of the matrix. It is always denoted by capital letters of English alphabet as A, B, C, D up to Z. Therefore, we can name these matrices by any of the English alphabet. So that's all about the matrices? Really no. What if we take three column arrays as 0, 1, 2, minus 3, minus 4, 1 and 6, 5, 9 and someone asked us to take them together? We will just put the braces at the starting and at the end of them. Yes, it would be a matrix. We can name it by any of the capital letter of English alphabet as A. Therefore, matrix can also be constructed by taking two or more rows together. Yes, it can also be constructed by taking two or more columns together. Both lines are same as they converges to the meaning of matrix. Now let's talk about the order of a matrix, also known as dimension. You all would have seen the dimensions of a paperboard as L by B, denoting it as L cross B. Here also dimension has the same meaning related to the matrix. It is denoted by M cross N. We read it as M cross N, where M is number of rows and N denotes number of columns. So let's understand this by some illustrations. Let's take a matrix A having 1, 2, 3 as its first row elements and 0, minus 11, 6 as its second row elements. Just notice how many number of rows and columns it contains and think about the notation of the order M cross N, where M represents number of rows and N represents number of columns. So while writing the order of a matrix, you should remember this. Now, what you have to do is to count the number of rows in the matrix. Here, as we know, rows horizontally and columns vertically. So here we have two rows as we can see and three columns. We have two rows and three columns. Now again, M cross N, we have two rows and three columns. So therefore, we can write its order as 2 cross 3, as is it, as it has two number of rows and three number of columns. Just it. Therefore, the order of the matrix A is 2 cross 3. Now just pause the video and think about the order of the matrix. Here we have 3 rows and 2 columns. Therefore, the order is 3 cross 2. Now let's look at the next matrix. Here we have 1 row and 4 columns. Therefore, the order of this matrix is 1 cross 4. Now let's see this matrix. Here we have 3 rows and 1 column. Therefore, its order is 3 cross 1. And this is for you. Don't worry, I will tell you in the end of the video. So, going further, let's talk about the elements of a matrix. Elements can be numbers, symbols, or expressions. Numbers can be real or complex. Symbols can be alpha, beta, gamma, or del. Expressions can be algebraic, for example, x square, 3x plus 5, or root x. So let's talk about the notation of the element of a matrix. An element is generally denoted as Aij, where I means ith row and j means jth column. Just remember the order of the matrix m cross n, where m represents number of rows and n represents number of columns. So just remember that always rows come first and columns comes after. Here the same pattern will be followed in the notation of an element Aij, where A can be any small letter as B, C, D up to Z or A. Now finding some elements by using the general notation of an element. Write the general notation Aij. I have taken here a matrix of 3 cross 4 order. Just find A12 first. Compare it with the general notation of an element. We have I, we have 1 at the place of I and 2 at the place of j. Now look at the first row and second column. The common element of first row and second column will be A12. Therefore, A12 is equals to 4. Similarly, we can find A23. Compare it with the general notation. Here we have 2 at the place of I and 3 at the place of j. Then look at the second row and third column. The common element of second row and third column is 7. Therefore, A23 is equals to 7. Similarly, we can find A11. Just pause the video and try to find it. Here we have A11 is equals to 1. Let's learn how to write a matrix by using general notations. Suppose A is a matrix of order m cross n. M means m number of rows and n number of columns. In last row we have m at the place of I and 1 at the place of j, which means element of mth row and first column. Similarly, we can see amn, which means the element of mth row and nth column. Also a1n, element of first row and nth column. I hope you will practice to write this general form of a matrix 3 to 4 times without seeing. You will not be confused in the general notations. And I have not forgotten this, its order is 1 cross 1, as it has 1 row and 1 column. But a question for you. Tell the difference between array and vector with respect to matrix. If you know, write in the comment section below. Dhanyavad.